What's going on, everybody? This is Chris Cichon of the Fantasy Insiders, and I'm here to tell you about some favorable offenses with nice playoff schedules. I'm not talking about the NFL playoffs. I'm talking about the fantasy playoffs, weeks 14, 15, and 16. If you're in a league where 6 teams make it, this is where you need to be looking ahead so you can dominate the competition. All right, the Carolina Panthers, Cleveland, New Orleans, Atlanta. Those are their 3 opponents there. All 3 of them surrendering a ton of points to the wide receiver position. They're all in the top 8 in terms of points allowed to the wide receivers. So certainly look at a guy like DJ Moore, who might be available there. His targets have increased steadily throughout the entire season. Second up, we've got the LA Chargers. Home against Cincinnati, at Kansas City. They've got Baltimore week 16. But Melvin Gordon's in a smash spot for those first 2 weeks. We want to keep an eye on Antonio Gates. Yes, that the Chiefs allow not only the 6th worst in terms of fantasy points to the quarterback position, so Phillip Rivers in a nice spot, but they're 2nd worst in terms of the tight end position. And the only team worse at preventing tight end production, the Chargers week 14 opponent, Cincinnati. Keep an eye on the Williams brothers as well, too. Tyrell Williams, 2 monster games in a row, 3 touchdowns in those games, 118 yards receiving each. Not a ton of volume, but certainly in smash spots against the Bengals and the Chiefs. Finally, the Houston Texans, Indianapolis, the Jets, and Philadelphia. Man, the Jets, 2nd most receiving yards allowed, most catches to the wide receiver position. The Eagles, they come in with the most the Jets have allowed the most receptions. Philadelphia coming in at 2nd most in terms of receptions allowed. Eagles also allowing 4th most amount of rushing yards to the quarterback. Finally, some streaming defense options. The Detroit Lions, they're getting the top of my list because of weeks 14 and 15. At Arizona, at Buffalo. The 2 lowest scoring teams in the NFL in terms of points per game. Also want to look at the Washington Redskins after this Clinton Dix trade that they just acquired here. They've got the New York Giants, Jacksonville Jaguars, and Tennessee Titans. All 3 matchups plus matchups for this Redskins defense. If somebody drops them when they are streaming a defense, you want to grab the Redskins, especially if you are in a very favorable position with deep bench spots. Finally, the Cincinnati Bengals, they round out their year. This is a little bit of a deeper one, but weeks 15 and 16, Oakland Raiders, Cleveland Browns. No team allows more sacks than the Cleveland Browns. So if you're in your fantasy championship, certainly Cincinnati is a team to stream if indeed some of these top defenses are taken. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, here, and let's dominate this week and the rest of the season. Check out fantasyinsiders.com for all great content.